Hey everybody, today we're going to finish up talking about the different measures of center for your data. We've already talked about mean, which is average or fair share, median, which is the exact middle value, and today we're going to talk about mode. And mode is the number that occurs the most. Right, like I said, mode is the number that occurs the most often, and the way you can remember that is MO in mode means most often. And what that means is it's just a number that keeps occurring throughout the data set. So your first step is you're going to order your data from least to greatest. So let's see, I've got 175, 200, 250, and that occurs twice, 430, and 500. And your second step is you're just going to choose the number that occurs the most. And the reason we order this from least to greatest is just because it's easier to see when you have a number that occurs more than once. They'll be right beside each other. So 175 only occurs once, 200 only occurs once, 250 occurs twice. So far that is our mode. 430 occurs once, and 500 occurs once. So in this case, the number that occurs the most is 250. That means 250 would be the mode of our data. It's the number that occurs the most often. MO, most often. So here's a couple examples. Like I said, you're always going to start with ordering the data from least to greatest. So number 1, we've got 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 10. And if I'm looking at these numbers, the one that occurs the most often looks like it's going to be 2. It occurs 3 times. The other numbers only occur once. So the mode for number 1 would be 2. Okay, let's try number 2. I'm going to order them from least to greatest. 3, 4, 9, 9, 12, and 12. And if you'll notice, for number 2, we have the number 9 and number 12 that both occur twice. So in this case, you have 2 modes. That is possible. You may only have 1, or you could have more than 1. In this case, we have 2. So the mode or modes of this set of data would be 9 and 12 because they both occur twice. Now, if 12 had occurred 3 times and 9 had only occurred twice, then 12 would be the mode because it occurred 3 times instead of 2. But since they both occurred the same amount of times, which was 2, and it was more than the other data points, then both of those numbers would be the mode. Okay, let's look at number 3. Order from least to greatest, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 80. And if you look, we don't have any number that occurs more than 1 time. So in this case, there is no mode. Okay, that is also possible. You may only have 1 mode, you may have more than 1 mode, or you might have no mode at all. All 3 of those possibilities are possible. So let's just do a quick review. Your 3 measures of center are mean, median, and mode. Mode is the number that occurs the most often, and you can remember that by the M and the O, most often. You're always going to order those from least to greatest, then you're going to choose the number that occurs the most. And again, you might have 1 mode, you might have more than 1, or you might have no mode at all.